Just packing up the tent at home farm. It's of course it's been bleak. It's got sort of horrible, bleak, grey, misty all day. And of course, I mean, I kind of knew this was happening. Well, I suspect it would happen because the weather report said something, but you can't believe the weather reports around here at all. Like it's been saying, oh, it's not raining, it's been chucking it down in the morning here and also at Golden Cap. So the weather reports are variable at best. But yes, it's been. I was wondering whether to stay on another day, and actually I stayed a day longer than I wanted to, which was today. Which was like yesterday. I was like, oh, I'm going to check it out, Robertsbury Buzz. I could have stayed on tonight as well. One problem, when it's raining, and it's also when you've got annoying children in the background, when it's raining, you've got nowhere to go in a place like this. There is, apart from hiding in the toilets, when there's the local pub, is only open till 12 till 8 or 12 till I think it's 12 to 8 Sundays. I think it's 12 it was 10 I think last night. And I went for. I'm glad I had organised a pub meal because it was after a day of hiding in coffee shops and getting drenched, and then doing some work and getting drenched again, and that weirdness at the chapel and all that sort of stuff. I was just glad to not have to try and cook in a rainstorm. Or it wasn't. The thing is, not really a rainstorm. If it was a rainstorm, it would be sort of over, and then it could change. No, it's this constant sort of drizzly ugh, and that's kind of really got to me the last couple of days because when it's misty, I can't go and work because you can't see anything, and when it's chucking it down, I can't work easily unless I've got somewhere to shelter. And of course, what you don't have in a tent, unless you go onto the headland and pitch that tent, which is one way of doing it, though obviously then you're wild camping and you've got security issues and issues around your tent being blown away, because exactly the very nice, wonderful scenes that you see are exactly the places where you would not camp because you just get your tent will blow away. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, the ideal would be to do that, but the thing is, I have so much stuff to carry. Even though I've been trying to narrow it down, even just today, like, oh, eat this, don't have to carry this, eat this. I find that the base camp idea is better, and that you go to a place, and then you do day walks from there, because I have done some of that sort of walk with something, but after about 2 or 3 miles with all your shit with you, it is hard going. I know you can juice it down, but there is a point of where you're like, well, you've got no coffee at all. You can not have a stove, and then just have, cold food. But if you're going that off limits, the problem with me is that I can't do the bread, because the bread in these places is not gluten-free, so it's a real limit. You have to stay a certain amount within. Either have to take a shitload of bread, which is more weight, and a shitload of water because you're going off grid, or you stay near a civilization where you can actually get these things. And it's a difficult one, especially as I move away from the more touristy areas. And when the idea was to go all around the coast at one point. The difficulty with that is that it's a good idea, but how do you navigate those things? Because for instance, if you're going for a long trip, to not eat a hot meal it's fine when it's lovely and warm and hot. You're like, oh, great picnics. When you actually are cold and wet and it's just horrible, you want and and it's the same with the showers, because who needs hot showers? Oh, I'll just rough it. if your muscles are really aching and are happy, as they are, my legs get very unhappy. I have problems with one of my knees and my feet. A hot shower is the way you stop that kicking off full time. Otherwise, I literally cannot walk, and so that's the point of where it's kind of it becomes a sort of false economy of trying to pare things down to nothing, because I could and I used to carry not less stuff. I mean, I've carried wood stoves and then used the fuel as I go along, and that didn't work because obviously, again, you need the fuel to be dry, and also you just end up living life collecting twigs and they're gone in like 2 seconds. So it's very hard or you're carrying the fuel, which is even heavier than a gas stove, as much as I hate gas stoves. And the gas stove was doing weird things earlier. I think it got wet in the night, and it was doing this weird flamey thing, and I was like, oh no, it doesn't stop working. And then it sort of, I switched to the canister, and it confirmed it was the burnery, stovey bit. And then when I put it back, it was behaving better then. And I was like, but it was weird. I was standing on the other side of the tent going, long way away, going, is it boiling? I don't know. But yeah, I think the point is, I made this to a friend of mine, Huxbear, I don't know if he's listening, that I do this not because... I've had a lot of guys sort of admire the tent and admire, my solar panel, and admire the sort of off, and they're expecting me to be walking from site to site and stuff like that, and they'd be disappointed when I find out I bus and then sort of do day walks. But the thing is that I don't do this because I think it's cute or fun. I don't do this for Instagram value. I do this because I'm fucking poor. Camping is not something I enjoy. I hate camping. I really, really do not like camping. Especially when it's like, well, it's now sunny. And typically, when, kind of like when I'm about to go, of course it's sunny. But it's lovely and sunny. Let's hope it's drying the tent a bit. But the idea that, oh it's such a lovely idea, and oh it's so lovely. It's not. It's shit. I only do it because, I couldn't afford you can't get a B&B for 13 quid a night. You can't even get a youth hostel for 13 quid a night in most places. So, even a shared bed is like, was it 20, 30 plus, I think. Not a shared bed, I mean shared room. Shared bed, yes. Not even shared, but a single room is 80 plus, or was, probably more now. But if you want to do it doing the dorms, it's like, I think it's 30. It depends where it is. Some places are cheap, some places are not. But also then you're sharing with some really weird people, as I found. As I found up in Scotland. So, having to listen to people's tall tales at the dinner table without going, bullshit! There was a guy bragging constantly on that Scotland trip, who I kept bumping into. He was a right twat. Right, so I don't do this because I have any particular love for camping. I don't like creepy crawlies. I don't like when I'm all wet and everything is wet. And you go. I stayed to the pub till about 9:30 last night or maybe 10. But I think 9:30 is 10, because I just didn't want to come back to a sort of cold, wet tent. And looked at the inside, it's been fairly dry. But the problem is, as soon as you tighten it up to the point of where the sides won't touch the things, you can't then close the zips properly. See, let all the opacity in. It's kind of a problem with the design. And of course, I've seen YouTube videos of how to put this tent up, the 3F UL gear, a Chinese company. And it's not a bad tent. It's just the problem is that you have to work it out yourself. there are quirks to it, which, part of the reason why I got kind of a bit, it was flapping like a fucker in the first place, in Yuli's, was I put it up really quickly and I put it up wrongly. And not having a garden, like some people, I can't practice it. I did practice it in the park, actually. When I first got it, I went in October, I went and practiced in the park. I felt like a fool putting a tent in the park, but, so I did practice it. But it's easy if you've got like a garden or somewhere to practice putting it up. I put it up quite a few, October trips, and now I'm getting quite good at how to tweak it. I mean, if you've got one of these 3 FUL or 1 FUL or one of the UL gear tents, my general tip is don't put in the initial pegs to keep it down. If you can, of course, when I first put it up, it was in a bloody gale, so that's why I tightened it too tight. You keep it all loosely pegged in. Then you do the guys. Then you do the pole at the height that it's supposed to be, or close to. It says 125 cm for the trekking pole. Then you tighten everything. But that's a luxury if you have. What time is it? Oh my god! I need to get out of here because they're supposed to be out by 12. 10 minutes to go. But the tent is down. It's drying. If they come and scream at me, I'll be like, well, I'm almost out here. But yes, and then you tighten everything. But of course, if you are putting it up in a fucking gale, as I was at Yuli's on the headland, I didn't do that. So of course everything was vibrating, and not in a good way. It was too. I put it up too tight with the bottom on the sort of the pegs that peg the fly sheet and the sort of the inner tent down, and then it just wasn't tensioned right. So you do have to kind of like fiddle with it to get it right, and keep fiddling with it, especially to try and get a shape that doesn't pull water at the back, because that's the problem. If you got it wrong, if you don't get it high enough, it pulls water back. If you get it too high, let's say it sort of pulls something weird with the way it works is that it sort of pulls the inner tent up a bit too high, so the corners pull up, which is not a massive problem. But then you have trouble closing the inner tent zip. So anyway, I've got to pack up now. I said I'm heading to Lyme Regis, Cannington. It's right by one of the Bluebell viaducts. So this is all getting very Sightseers, and we're ending up by viaduct. I promise not to jump off here. Anyway, I've not killed anyone, honest. I've gone close. Because I made a comment before, this is like Sightseers without, in the previous podcast, this is like Sightseers without the murdering, that's optional. But I haven't met anyone else, and I haven't gone on a rampage. But it looks really nice, and they've got availability even over the bank holiday weekend, so I might stay there for a bit. I might not, but the bus is at 1, so I better rush. Although I've got everything packed up. The main thing was getting the rucksack packed up. The rest of it is kind of like, I was going to say, well, if allowing the tent to dry. If the tent's rolled up, they can come and go, ooh, not outside. I'll be like, well, here's a bag. Bastard wasp is trying to piss around. Go away. I will say that. Do you want to get stomped on? Bloody wasp. I know they do a good job, because there's wasps near the bus stop at Preston. No, not Preston, somewhere else. See, I'm losing track of places. Chiddock, on the bay trees, and I know why they were, because they were eating aphids. They eat aphid eggs. Is that the only thing that wasps do that's any good? Anyway, I'll speak to you soon, hopefully from a new location, and hopefully this weather will continue. Apparently it's going to get drier. I hope so, because as I say, the last couple of days have been and I mean, sort of to the level of thinking just abandoning the trip. I mean, that's how. Because if it's just chucking it down wet, and I spend my life just sitting in cafes trying to charge things up, it's just like, what is the point of being on this trip? Anyway, speak to you soon. I'm in Lyme Regis, town that time forgot. Yes, plenty of fossils, and that's just the people here. The shops, and I got in sort of just after before 6, and I would say majority of the place was closed down because it's all open till 4 or 5 or 5:30, including lunchtime closing. I can understand closing early if you don't do your lunchtime, but yeah, I bet they do early day closing as well. But yeah, it's nice to be here. Nice. The campsite is lovely. It's near up Lyme, and it is right next to the Cannington viaduct, which I didn't realise. I thought it was still functional, but the Lyme Regis line has been closed down, and it's all private. You can't even walk along it, so it's all private property. I'm surprised they haven't tried to reopen it as a tourist attraction, as a steam line or something, or extension of the Bluebell line or something. I think that's somewhere else. That's Hampshire, isn't it? But yeah, East Wing, Bluebell line, East Wing. But yeah, it is. Yeah, it's been a weird day because I seem to spend the whole day putting things in bags and then unpacking them from bags, putting up tents twice, and the whole holiday, in fact, actually, just putting things into bags, it seems, especially just to avoid pesties, to avoid ants and slugs and things. But also, walking out, even I can see it even now, you've got this really weird thing where down at it's sunshine down at a low level, and then there's cloud and mist on the hills, and that's what it's been like. I've got photographs of like sunshine fields, and suddenly you've got this rolling mist, and it seems to roll in and roll out, and it's very spooky. But luckily I've got some more munchies, because the new place, which is really nice, has got access to electricity. Yes, I can charge my batteries. Yay! Literally, figuratively, and literally. And also I have access to a fridge, so I can keep things cold. So that will help. So I bought some. Well, I actually found a place here. They've got a Tesco. No M&S. I thought Lyme Regis was posh, but no M&S. Yeah, they don't seem to do M&S down food halls down this part of the world. Well, they do in Weymouth, but no further, as far as I can tell. No Waitrose either. Oh, not as posh as Bridport, but they've got a Tesco Express and a Coop. Interestingly, no Spa. I thought that was a law around here, that every place has every single little town, village, everything has to have a spa. It seemed to be. I thought it was a law, local law. So yes, but yeah, we went to the Coop and got some Coop prosecco, little bottles, which I'm drinking at the moment. It's probably against some kind of bylaw. I also might have purloined some brown sugar, and I don't mean that in a drug sense. Not from them, from elsewhere, but I paid for a lot of groceries. I can afford a few sachets of brown sugar. Because seriously, I just don't want to have to lug around a whole bag of sugar, and I'm running out. But the coffee's lasted well, and so has the camp stove. It still is going, although it was doing, as I say, weird things earlier. I still can't believe it's still going. Like, it's not exactly a fortnight since I started this trip, but it's not far off. It's a few days off that, but yeah, it's a long time for something that, as I say, I've been hanging around for decades, and I thought, this is not full. This is going to run out. It goes to show you when they say, there's an hour or 2 hours burn time. You're saying, that won't last. No, it does. It does. That's a full thingy anyway. So yes, so I'm going to do more touring tomorrow. I think probably come and go down to the coast and see the Ammonite Beach, which is off Monmouth Beach. I saw a sign, someone had actually made a handmade sign saying ignore Google suggestions, you can't get to the Ammonite Beach from the coast path, which is not a surprise. So apparently you access it to the beach, so I'll do that. It better not be shingle. I bet it's shingle. Not the shelf itself, but yeah. So we're going to have a look at that. Maybe do some drawings, I don't know. We'll see how we feel. I'll certainly take some photographs of it. There's a certain person I know who will love that, who urged me to go to the Kit. Hello, Chris. Well, Chris is his name, not Kit isn't his name. But he urged me to go to the fossil forest near Lulworth, and so yes, he's a fan of fossils. So I'm a fan of fossils, but more the old men sort. He's a fan of the stone sort. So yes, as I get sottled on prosecco, I'm going to get too sottled because I need to head back. I'm just resting my feet. But yeah, it's certainly clearing up. You can see sunshine. There's been sunshine today, and it's a much nicer day. And I'm hoping, as they say, tomorrow is going to, and the bank holiday is going to be good. I hope so, because as I say, the last couple of days have been shit, and it's been depressing to be in a tent where it's just constant drizzle. Drizzle for shizzle. But I'm getting Swanage meets Weymouth vibes here. I have been here. I'm pretty sure I've been here. I have been here. If I go to the train station, which I will do at some point probably, because it depends how further I go on my trip. I might go even further, but probably will end up getting a single to Weymouth, and or however it works out, getting a notional single to Weymouth, and then not going that way, but covering me for that part of the trip, and then using the return for the rest. Because this is outside of my network rail card thing. It sort of stops at Weymouth, so that's partly why I chose the Jurassic Coast, was that I could get a third off fare down to here. But actually, there's no reason why you can't go, do that to Weymouth and then get a, normal price ticket for the rest, But trains add up. But yeah, so I do remember coming, though it looks different, so maybe I was imagining something else, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. We'll have to go and have a look at that part. I remember more of an esplanade, so maybe it was a different part of this place. Maybe it was just my imagining something. But anyway, it's lovely. I better sign off, and I'll speak to you soon. Just realised I was confusing this place with Puncknowle Regis. So no, I don't think I've ever been to the Lyme Regis. This is completely off the charts. This is new stuff for me. Because I don't recognise any of it. So I don't think I've never been this far. It'd be viaducts, it'd be dragons. So anyway, because of course the railway closed because the viaduct is where the railway came in, and it's not working. It got shut down. I don't know when. So I won't be taking the train from here. Though it'll probably be from Dorchester, or I don't know if the train goes to Axminster. One of those. Or Yeovil. And the train goes there. So yeah, it'll be one of those places. I will have to take a bus to, or maybe I'll take the bus all the way back to Weymouth. I might do that. I mean, it depends how far east I go, really. The sky's the limit. Oh, it's rather misty at the moment.